fans? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees, and we've got a decent bit to talk about in terms of reporting. Not a lot in terms of actual substance, in terms of signings. There have been no transactions by the Yankees in day one of the winter meetings. And going to be frank with you guys, not really anything cooking in terms of transactions that have gone down in the winter meetings in the first about 24 hours since it started. It has been quiet here as the clock kind of hits 7 o'clock here. We will be reacting live to the Yes Hot Stove and trying to figure out what is going on in Yankee land. Will the Yankees end up doing anything this winter or offseason? Kind of get some updates here on Fireside Yankee. So if you're listening here and you are wanting to react to Hot Stove, we're going to be doing it together. We're going to be reacting to Yankees Hot Stove together. Again, that's hosted by Jack Curry of Yes Network. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Brendan Donovan rumors going around social media and some of the buzz in the winter meetings lobby. That is from the winter meetings, and that is from the lobby. So we'll kind of go from there. It is a pretty boring 24 hours. I can't lie. This kind of sucks in terms of 24 hours. So, we'll kind of see what happens there. There's a lot going around, a lot of rumors, not a lot of consistency in those rumors. Yes, there is Hot Stove. It's starting right now. So that's what we're going to be reacting to. So I won't be completely talkative in terms of I'll react, basically. I'm reacting essentially. Aaron Boone is on right now. It's Bob Lorenz, Meredith from Rockovich, Jack Curry, and Aaron Boone left to right. This is like being a broadcaster. So I don't know if Boone's going to give any actual information. I'll see if they get any actual information here. So let's see. And you guys are going to get real reactions here. I'll either be very disappointed or pretty like, oh, wow. Can't lie. I don't know if we're going to get anything out of Boone talking, just because don't get the sense that Boone is, going to deliver scoops. He's not going to reveal information that's private. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We shall see. Let's see what's going on here. Look, it is what it is. Now, look, since it's Boone talking and I can hear kind of what I need to hear from him. I'll just kind of talk with you guys for a little bit. So have not heard this at all. Yeah. So Hector Beauchamps I could be pronouncing that wrong. Hector's my guy though, of Latino Sports. Hold on. Priorities. What does Boone want as priorities? I just want to get better. Every offseason is different. Okay. Need some information. He is very good I gotta say, Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone are 80 grade at not saying anything. This is a pretty masterclass performance from the first answer. Yeah, that was a nothing burger. That was a nothing burger answer. That's fun. Okay. Okay, Bellinger question. Cody was such a good player for us, such a good person for us, such a good pro. He's earned the right to free agency. He said that earlier. Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a lot of nothing. Anywho, let's talk about the Brendan Donovan stuff. I don't feel like we're going to get a lot here. So in terms of Brendan Donovan, Hector Beauchamps of Latino Sports had mentioned that he's at the winter meetings. He's in the lobby right now. He talked about the buzz in the lobby being that the Yankees and Royals, among other teams, are prominently involved and engaged with the Cardinals on trade talks. That's kind of the buzz at the winter meetings right now. Donovan and the Yankees, not just the Yankees, but Brendan Donovan. The reason I kind of led with that being the thumbnail or the titular title for this episode or live stream is because when you look at the Yankees and what they have compared to what some of the other guys have on the market or some other teams have, and where the Yankees are positioned here, the Yankees are positioned very well for this. The Yankees are positioned very well to make this trade, because while it may not be an obvious fit, I'm sure that we can have the conversation, and this is where we're going to have this conversation. How does this work? The Yankees have a lot of pitching. The Royals don't have that caliber of pitching. If you look at the Royals and you say, well, Ryan, they've got Cole Reagans. They're not trading Cole Reagans for Brendan Donovan. Brendan Donovan has 2 years of control. Reagans has more than 2 years of control. Now, if they trade Cole Reagans for Brendan Donovan, then that's going to be their guy. And you know what? There's nothing you can do with that. Is what it is. Is what it is. At that point, you just kind of like roll with it and you say, whatever, is what it is. Chris Bubic, same situation. 1 year of control. Not really sure what's going to happen with like Chris Bubic's arm health. I've heard that that's really a concern for teams trying to trade for him. I've heard there's like I've heard there's some pretty bad stuff with that arm. So not sure he's going to be an attractive trade chip for 2 years of Brendan Donovan for the Cardinals. Noah Cameron is a fun piece in this, because Noah Cameron, 26 years old, had a really strong rookie season, but kind of like a good ERA, not great strikeout rates, not good velocity guy. Like, this is a guy who you kind of wonder if he's got the stuff to really be that kind of starting pitcher who a GM like Chaim Bloom typically targets, which is these kind of like stuff-led, stuff-heavy starters. This feels like kind of the guys that the old Cardinals go after. Michael Lorenzen, Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha. Way too old for me to believe that these guys are going to be guys that the rebuilding Cardinals build around in a trade. Jack Caglianone's an interesting piece in this, but I think he's too good of a player for this. In terms of like a trade, he's too good of a prospect, but you could also argue too risky of a prospect for the Royals to not offer this. But I do think that the Yankees or the Royals need to offer pitching for this. And the Yankees have pitching. Will Warren, Luis Heel all have more years of control than Donovan in the sense of, and they're not like Cole Reagans where they're so clearly and obviously more valuable than that you would not trade Reagans realistically for Donovan, unless, of course, you're a moron. And again, if the Cardinals get Cole Reagans for Brendan Donovan, as a Yankees fan, you don't go, why didn't Brian Cashman do this, blah, blah, blah. You go, is what it is what it is. And the other thing for this with the Yankees is the secondary pieces that the Yankees could target in a deal like this. Jojo Romero is a strong relief pitcher who's had an excellent track record. Wilson Contreras, I don't know if that's a real deal thing for the Yankees, and if that's something the Yankees would be really into, but if they want a right-handed bat, he is a right-handed bat, and he can catch, play first base, and play DH. So play DH. Sorry, that's such a stupid phrasing. And he is a DH. So if the Yankees lose Stanton for an extended period of time, which they do every single year, then that could happen. Now let's kind of talk about what's going on here with Donovan and kind of where we're at with the Yankees in this. You might go, and I'm trying to pull up a comment that accurately talks about this, because this should be a real conversation we have. Left-handed hitting. Let me see if I can find this here. There's a comment that I think really points this out here. There we go. Why are we looking into him when Cashman said there are too many lefties on the roster? Why would they get Donovan? Great point. And I will say this. I only believe the Yankees, in my kind of head here, my logic, right? Like my head and my logic here. Why would the Yankees get Brendan Donovan to replace Cody Bellinger? Cody Bellinger is a lefty, sure, but Cody Bellinger hits lefties. So Cody Bellinger, like if you are adding someone to replace Cody Bellinger, they have to be able to hit lefties. They have to be able to hit lefties. So I don't think Donovan's a replacement for Bellinger. Now, McMahon being traded away, that would be a logical solution. Now, I guess Jazz fits in this as well, and Jazz is easier to trade, but again, I think that you flip a lefty for a lefty, not trade a guy who hits lefties well to bring in a guy who doesn't hit lefties well. We have a super chat here from Jonathan. Jonathan, I just want to say thank you for the super chat, man. Hill for Donovan and maybe a reliever. Do you think the Cardinals would want more? Yeah, I think they'd want more than just Hill. I think Hill has got value on the trade market, but not enough to single-handedly acquire Brendan Donovan. He's got enough upside that I think it could work. And I kind of think about like the teams that would want Brendan Donovan or want a Ryan McMahon. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to want Ryan McMahon. I don't really think that makes sense. 2 years, $32 million. I feel like you'd have to take in some salary, and I'm not willing to take in salary. Wilson Contreras going to get traded as a salary dump? Doesn't really make sense. So I think that we could see kind of is this real with Hector? Where are you guys seeing this? Sorry. Where would this where is this being said? Because look, I think that, you know, when it comes to the Yankees and Ryan McMahon, it's not that they don't like Ryan McMahon. I think the Yankees like Ryan McMahon. I think they do. But if an upgrade is available, I don't think the Yankees are going to close their doors to an upgrade. Kind of the way I would look at it, and I know this ended up being an ill-fated trade for the Yankees, but the Yankees did not hate Gio Urshela. The Yankees did not hate Gary Sanchez. The Yankees did not hate either player. But the Yankees believe that Josh Donaldson and Jose Trevino would be an upgrade. And when we talk about the Yankees and we talk about their roster, where's the way you can upgrade? It's not with Jazz Chisholm. And I'm gonna point out my guy Aaron over here. Why do people want to trade Jazz? How can you be mad at not winning in 16 years and then want to trade such a valuable player? I fully agree. I don't think Jazz Chisholm, I don't think Brendan Donovan's an upgrade over Jazz Chisholm. He is a cost-cutting move. I don't like cost-cutting moves. And maybe the Yankees are going to do this as a cost-cutting move. I don't know if they traded for Donovan. This could also be, I'll kind of spin the other theory I have going on with this. Jazz Chisholm's a good baseball player. Jazz Chisholm is a good athlete. He runs the bases better than Donovan. He has more power than Donovan. He puts up better offensive numbers, at least over the last 2 years, than Donovan has. So for the Yankees, there's really no reason for them to acquire there's no reason for them to acquire Brendan Donovan to downgrade at second base. Now, the other thing I want to point out is the second theory I have, or the third theory I have here. And I'm seeing this now. I will check this out. And we'll kind of react to that together. I'll kind of have it on the shared screen and we'll look at that together when I find the timestamp. But let's talk about the situation with Brendan Donovan again. And the third theory I have here. What if the Yankees are just leveraged here? We talked about this a little bit like 5-10 minutes ago. When we look at the Yankees and what they have versus, let's say, the Royals. I know the Astros are part of this as well, and I'm going to lump them in this group too. The Guardians, even. The Yankees have more pitching than those guys. Will Warren is a big piece to throw in this deal because Will Warren has 5 years of MLB control and was essentially a league average starter who has kind of the stuff and maybe could limit the home run damage away from Yankee Stadium, going to a ballpark like St. Louis, going to a division like the NL Central. They have Elmer Rodriguez, not Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, Elmer Rodriguez. They have Carlos LaGrange, and they have Ben Hess. And that top three in terms of pitching prospect talent is better than what guys like the Royals, Astros, and Guardians have in terms of, you know, that kind of depth. And the Yankees are probably more willing to move off of that because they can pay somebody. So I do want to point out this comment, not this one. Well, this one I do want to point out because, yeah, I agree. I don't think the Cubs are going to trade Horner. The only guy that kind of makes sense for that is like Bregman, and I don't think they're going to get Bregman. Cunningham's a good pull here. Yes, they don't have an excess in terms of they don't have an excess in the sense that they could trade a starter and be fine, or they could be fine without adding a starter. Or I think they could be fine without adding a starter, but they would have to add one to trade. If the Yankees were to trade a big league starter, they can sign one. They have the money to sign one who's better than the player they traded. Do you think the Royals have the money to sign the kind of player needed to replace a Noah Cameron, to replace 26 starts of a sub-3 ERA? Absolutely not. Absolutely. They do not have the money to do it. Do the Guardians have the money to replace a Cal Steven plus? Absolutely not. Do the Astros have the financial flexibility to do that? No. So when we look at what the Yankees can do and what these other teams can do, the Yankees can say, all right, we're going to trade Will Warren away and we're going to sign Tatsuya Mai and or a Michael King. Those other teams can't do that. So when we talk about the Yankees in a leverage situation, it's definitely possible that the Yankees are just being used as leverage, and they're on the periphery of this conversation. So when I don't have insight on this. I don't have insight on the Donovan stuff. I'm kind of flying a little bit blind here. I do know they liked him at the deadline. I do know they liked him for years, but that's public. And I think Donovan gets traded. That's at least what I've been hearing in terms of like Donovan before the winter meetings, that him moving would be an earlier part of the offseason thing, potentially. Not really sure it's going to be the Yankees. But again, when we look at the Yankees and we look at what they have what it takes to get Donovan. I don't think Ryan McMahon is an unmovable contract. So you can see how that makes your team better. If you replace McMahon with Donovan, you're a better team. in my opinion, you're a better team. And depending on what you get back from McMahon, and depending on what you do in free agency, you can have a lineup where you've got Bellinger and Donovan or Donovan as your change over McMahon. And I think that is a really good offense, and it's going to make up for the regression you would expect from Bellinger, Grisham, and Stanton. Because you're replacing what you got at third base last year with Brendan Donovan, who is about a 120 OPS plus player, and I think would be even better at Yankee Stadium. So when we talk about the Yankees, we talk about Brendan Donovan, this whole thing, there's a lot of layers here. And I wonder what this means for the Yankees. The term challenge trade was thrown out there by Brian Cashman yesterday. Is a challenge trade moving from a Ryan McMahon? Is a challenge trade moving from a Jazz Chisholm? I don't know. Is a challenge trade bringing in Brendan Donovan and saying, hey, we have a guy who's going to move all around the lineup? I don't know if people are willing to kind of accept the fact that the Yankees have, how do I put this? That the Yankees have, I think a dynamic enough position player group where a Donovan and a Bellinger does put that over the top. And I do want to talk about Bellinger. Now, Jack Curry's talking alone here on Hot Stove, so we're going to kind of get into this here. We're going to react together. I can't stream this, but we're going to listen together. Hold on. Let's see. How you start and how you finish, okay? Let's see here. All right. Talk about Schlittler. Kind of wait for a little bit. So let's I don't think Wells has to go. I think Wells is a good defensive player. The Yankees like Wells. Again, I am not oh, wait, hold on. Yankees have interest in a player. New York Post. Joel Sherman. Yankees have expressed interest in Brad Keller. Interested in him as a reliever. Okay, so I'll report this. Hold on. Not report this. I'll tweet this on the Twitter. I like Brad Keller a lot. We're going to talk about this. Brad Keller. I love Brad Keller. Brad Keller has insane stuff, boys and girls, and everyone in between. So I'm just tweeting this out. Gotta grab my phone, talk to my boy Sam just to get him to post this. All right, Jack Curry about the Yankee rotation. Let's hear it. Trying to be creative about the market. Okay. Okay. Curry said he believes that if the Yankees were to add a starting pitcher, it would be through trade. It would be through trade. That is what's going on there. Yep. I need Brad Keller, folks. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah. What you missed is that Curry believes if they add a starter, it'll be by trade. Notes that he doesn't know he doesn't know that Cashman didn't give away any details on how much they Imai. Let's see. Is this what he? I don't think he said. I might be delayed, but that's not what he said. Hold on. No, nothing. Plotting, strategizing, nothing crazy. Let's see what else he's going to say. I'm going to take some notes from this. I just don't think the conversation it's heated up. Don't think it's heated up. Drink some water. See what happens. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know if anything's going to happen at these winter meetings, fellas. Maybe I do think that let's see. Anything else? I don't think Tucker. I don't know where Tucker ends up. I guess the Blue Jays, right? All right, that was. I'm not gonna lie, fellas, a little bit boring. We're gonna talk some real stuff here. Yeah, so this is something that was reported by Jesse Rogers of ESPN. Jesse Rogers, ESPN. So, yeah. All right, let's delve into this. Let's talk rumors. Let's talk shop, folks. One of the things I want to talk about is let's kind of review hot stove, I guess. If they add a starter, seems that it'll be a trade. At least that's what Curry said. That's what he believes it'll be. Sorry, by a trade. And we'll see. I mean, I again think that, when we look at the Yankees' ability to look at this trade market, there are not as many free agent options as trade options. I don't think the Yankees are going to be in on Framber Valdez. I don't think the Yankees are going to be in on Ranger Suarez. I don't think they were ever that in on Dylan Cease. I think it's a Meyer kind of bust, maybe King, but it's kind of a Meyer bust, I think. The trade market way more loaded with talent is kind of the way I'd put it, at least on the pitching side. Way more talent there. Way more talent for you to kind of pick up. So, again, I don't really think the free agent route is something that I would expect outside of MI. Outside of MI, King is on that board, I guess. I don't really know. King could be on that board. But, man, I personally, I don't really think anyone else is piquing their interest in the free agent market. I do, again, think that when we look at the trade market, there's just more options. That's kind of where I look at it. And we'll see if Curry's just being tight-lipped because he's being tight-lipped, but that's kind of where we're at. Let's see. It's not far-fetched. The Blue Jays get Tucker, Red Sox get Alonso and Marte, and the Orioles get Schwarber. Yeah, I guess it's not that far-fetched. Now, I will want to say with the Red Sox interest in Alonso, it does not seem that real, at least in kind of, so I kind of listen to this podcast. It's a baseball prospectus podcast with Jared Seidler, who is, I think, the head of baseball prospects, or at least one of their prominent people. Again, not really great with roles and understanding that. But good podcast for getting Mets information. And the interpretation there is that the Mets are not real deal. The Red Sox are not real deal players for Alonso. He's their senior writer. Sorry. But not the sense that that's a real deal player. That the Mets are real, the Red Sox are real deal players for Alonso. So take that for what it is. But I do think that we will see the Yankees, or at least see the Red Sox involved with Marte. I saw that they exchanged names. We'll kind of see if that deal ends up getting done, but that would be obviously a huge addition for the Red Sox. You just cannot let the AL East get better without making improvements yourself. I think that's the message here. I don't think the message is they're specifically doing this and specifically doing that. But I agree. With the way that the AL East is moving, they're going to try and do things. You got to also try and do things. I don't care who it is necessarily. I just care that you're able to go out there and push the envelope and make some big additions, because they do need that. They need that with that situation. So we'll kind of see where things are right now. Apparently they're interested in Shane Baz. All right, that's the Astros. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Cubs are going to be involved in the starting trade market. So we'll kind of see what that means and what that ends up being for them. But I expect the Cubs to end up with a starter as well. If you trade Jazz, you better get Polanco. I personally wouldn't. I personally wouldn't want to replace Jazz with Jorge Polanco. I'd like to keep Jazz in this scenario. That's my opinion personally. So yeah. It's weird how quiet the Yankees have been. I feel like something big is coming. I'm not wrong. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really know what's coming up for the Yankees. I don't know if they're close on anything. I don't know what's going on here. Like, I really don't. I'm kind of flying blind a little bit, right? I simply won't believe the Yankees aren't going to get Amai until they don't get him. Hey, that's fair. I think Amai is the target for the Yankees, and we'll kind of see where that goes from there. If they get Schwarber, that would be crazy. AL teams are getting better. These guys need to do a lot to be able to compete. Yeah, the Yankees are going to have to push hard. We got a super chat here. Lots saying Schwarber needs to sign first as he has the most interest in teams. Then it'll open the floodgates. I agree with that. I think that's kind of the consensus. As you said, it's the consensus, and we'll kind of see how things go from there. So before we keep going, we're going to talk about Brad Keller real quick. I also want to talk about that Cody Bellinger report, because I have some thoughts on the Cody Bellinger stuff that, I'm not sure everyone's going to want to agree with or hear. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens there. Let's kind of share our screen here. And let's talk about Brad Keller. Let's talk about Brad Keller and what I think he could provide to the New York Yankees as a reliever. Again, I really like Brad Keller as a reliever fit. I don't think he's a superstar or anything of the sort, but I think he's a good reliever. So look at this past season. Put up a 2.07 ERA, struck out 27% of batters faced, 56% ground ball rate. You look at that fastball, that average fastball velocity, and we're going to pull it up here. Just throws incredibly hard. 97 mile per hour four-seamer, 96.7 mile per hour sinker. That's what you want in a reliever. The Yankees need more guys who throw hard. He throws multiple slider shapes, from my understanding. Those slider shapes are grayed out very positively. We're going to also pull up his baseball savant, because that's where we got some other interesting data here. I know baseball savant analysis should not be dumbed down to a lot of red is good, but when it's basically all red, kind of hard for it to be bad. So Brad Keller, elite damage prevention, the quantity and quality of contact that Brad Keller allows, both them double plus. That combination of skills is very hard to find. Good sharp gyro slider with a ton of whiffs. Really good sweeper, power sinker. Changeup has some real good upside and has been a productive pitch for him. Four-seamer, good contact prevention pitch. It's kind of where we're at. So it's an early count, get ahead, get an early out kind of pitch. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Now, with this kind of pitch mix here, four-seamer, cut ride fastball at 97. I like that. Sinker has good movement for a sinker, considering the guy doesn't really move the ball well laterally, away from left-handed batters. Changeup, good vertical depth. Is this Realmuto thing real? I'm sorry. I have to keep checking. Sorry. I don't have access to my Twitter, so I have to keep checking. Anywho, sweeper, big movement on the sweeper, big drop on the slider. Like the movement, there's so much of the movement profile that's covered here. Look at the pitch plot. There's nothing he doesn't cover. He's got down and away, down and in, upstairs, sweepy, big horizontal movement. He's got everything you kind of need in a repertoire. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of see if we could see like a Brad Keller sign with the Yankees. Yeah, I would really love this for the Yankees. I think, again, big weapon for the Yankees if they can add him. Look at the expected ERA. The FIP 2.93. The skill interactive ERA 3.04. Really good strikeouts and walk rates. Again, I love the idea of the Yankees adding him. I know there's talk about him potentially going back to the rotation. Definitely not impossible. And the Yankees definitely have room for him to start if possible. So that's the other appeal here. He could start for you. He can provide you innings as a starter. And if you can get him to be a starting pitcher for you for a little bit, either A, he pops and he's this really nice rotation addition. That's great. If not, then he can be a really nice bullpen weapon, like an eighth inning guy. He's the guy who's your bridge to David Bednar. That would be surely that'd be exactly what I want. That'd be exactly what I want for the Yankee bullpen. I want swing and miss. I want strikeouts. I want damage prevention. But more importantly, I want velocity. I want excellent stuff in the back end of this pen. Projections like him a good bit as a reliever. So we'll kind of go from there. So Brad Keller, again, Joel Sherman, linking the Yankees to him. We'll kind of look, if you want to look at that article together, we can. We'll kind of look here, express interest in free agent Brad Keller. Keller's coming off a breakout season as a Cubs reliever and as a popular player in free agency, with teams looking at the righty as a starter and out of the pen. That might hurt the Yankees' ability to get him. The fact that there are teams interested in him as a starting pitcher. If he signs as a starting pitcher, that would probably rule the Yankees out of this. Most interested in him as a reliever. They could maybe have Keller start and do that, but I think that's more speculation on Joel Sherman's hand here. Don't know how the velocity holds in a rotation role. So, we'll kind of see what ends up happening there with the Yankees and if Brad Keller's a Yankee. Now, I do want to talk about the segment on SNY. SNY had Andy Martino on. Andy Martino spoke about Cody Bellinger. We'll let Mr. Martino take things from here.
In pinstripes.
Can you guys comment if you guys could hear the initial part of that before I continue playing this? I'm not sure how long the delay is, but any comments about that would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're listening to this, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I got a yes from Colin. Colin McDonald, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you, Colin. So let's do this.
So I can't answer that yet in terms of years and dollars, Sal, because the Bellinger market hasn't developed to that point. But I will tell you this. As much as they want Bellinger back, I can sense some feeling coming out of Yankee land that they're not 100% confident that market's going to stay at a place that they're okay with. I've felt it and said it several times since the beginning of the offseason. The Yankees really need to get Cody Bellinger locked up. He's a perfect Yankee, but I just don't know that that's really going to happen. And I thought that when Brian Cashman started talking about how the team was too left-handed, he's right on substance, but I also thought that could also serve as some groundwork for an explanation of why you weren't the team to give Bellinger the 6th or 7th year. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think it could potentially open Bellinger up to a team like the Mets, compared to, or depending on, what happens with Pete Alonso. But the Yankees want him, but this isn't a Juan Soto thing where they're just going to keep bidding and bidding and bidding.
All right. So let's kind of talk a little bit here about that report. So the way I kind of view this is the Yankees are not going to go out there and give Cody Bellinger a 6th or 7th year, or a 7th year at the very most. I don't even know if I would give him 6 years. It kind of seems weird to say that about a guy who was your second best position player in terms of wins above replacement, had a really good year. I mean, these are good numbers. This is a guy who had a really good year, and projects to be a productive player. I mean, he projects to be a good player next year, but doesn't project to be a great one. And some of the things I want to note with Cody Bellinger, let's remember what he was last year and what the market was for him last year. He was available on a basically 1+1 contract. That essentially entails that he was guaranteed for 1 year in 2025. And if the Yankees if he were to have a bad year, he'd opt in 2026. And then he'd be a free agent after that. So I don't really see how the market has gone from, I have no business wanting him at that contract and trading anything for him. Remember, the Yankees traded Cody Poteet and got, I believe, about $5 million for him. The Yankees or other teams in the market, are they going to be gung-ho to go from, hey, we didn't want you on a 1 year or a 2 year deal, essentially, at $25 or $26 million? We didn't want you at essentially 2 for 51. And we didn't want to trade nothing for that. But we want you at a year older. We want you at 6 for 170 or 6 for 150 or 7 for 180, 190, 200. I have a hard time believing that. And whether I end up being right or being wrong, I do believe he will get to $25 million a year in terms of annual average salary. But I'm not sure that the market is going to go from, again, 1 year removed from him being 29 years old and available for just Cody Poteet, essentially, which is a zero value player in terms of trade models, or a 0.2 value player, whatever you want to say, a minimal trade piece value-wise for 2 years, one of them only one of them guaranteed for Bellinger. And no one bid at that. Like, the Yankees got about $5 million in financial relief, I believe. And again, they only traded Cody Poteet. The Mets could have offered up anything and could have gotten him. The Blue Jays could have offered up anything and gotten him. The Dodgers could have offered up anything and gotten him back. None of these teams chose to do so. You might go, well, Ryan, they had different needs. Okay. What about the teams who had outfield needs back then? Again, it's a 1-year rental of the player, essentially. If he had a 3-war season, he was going to opt out, probably. He was a good, not great player who's going to opt out. The odds of him opting out were higher than 50% going into the year, because the odds of him having a year where he'd be worth more than 1 year's $25 million was good. Good odds. I just don't believe the New York Yankees are going to be, I don't think the Yankees should be fearing the fact that the team or another team's going to go, hey, here's 6 years, $170 million. He was given away. And I want to shout out Fireside Giants here. They do Giants content with here at the company. They do really good Giants content. You guys should go like and subscribe for their channel. But make sure you smash that like button. If you guys give us 100 likes, we will go for an additional 30 minutes. We're going to go for about an hour. We are willing to get to an hour 30 if you get that like button and you get the likes up to 100. So make sure you do that. Really appreciate if you guys could just press that like button and get us to 100 likes. Again, I firmly do not believe the New York Yankees need to be worried about teams offering these mega contracts to Cody Bellinger. That's just where I look at things. I could be wrong. I am wrong frequently. I am wrong often. I am wrong. Being wrong is part of this game. But I don't know. That's just not where I feel like we got to be worried. Bichette over Brendan Donovan. So, I could be with that. And on the surface, like, hey, why wouldn't you be with that? Why wouldn't you be with that, Ryan? Bichette, shortstop. Yankees need a shortstop. Totally fair. Couple of notes. Let's kind of look here at, and I have an Excel doc where I can show you guys this metric here. Let's switch over. Let's share screen. I want to share. We're going to stop sharing our screen for a second. We're going to share entire screen. Nope. Here we go. Let's look for a second here. We're going to look at his sprint speeds. This is Bichette. 81st in the 80th percentile-ish, 80th to 90th range in 2019. As recent as 2021, still an amazing runner. Then he goes to a mediocre runner, but whatever, he hits. To a below average runner, all right, whatever. To still being an average runner, all right, cool. To way down here. Now, on a 1-year contract, I'm all in on Bichette. On a 3-year contract, I'm all in on Bichette. On a 4-year contract, I'm all in on Bichette. Because that kind of player is going to produce a lot. But that kind of player on a 8-year deal, on a 7-year deal, that's a concern. That is a worry. Because you can say, yes, knee issue, and that's definitely concerning, and he has contact, and he's a good hitter. Like, he's a really good hitter, that being Bichette. But there is a lot to worry about in terms of long-term projections. Because the knee issue is not the only physical decline we've seen. We've seen him decline from a plus athlete to really, really slow. He's a poor defensive player at shortstop. He's a good defensive player potentially at second. That's the hope. But even then, like, not really sure. I think third base is the better place for him to perform. That's my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. There is no way, no how that a team like the Yankees are going to offer 7 to 8 years with a high annual average salary for Bichette when that contract might end up being a disaster by year 4. It's not the same as Cody Bellinger, but it's a similar conundrum where the already existing player, the player that we have right now, that is Bo Bichette, is awesome. It's sick. It's perfect. It's perfect. But the player he will be in the next few years, that is a concern. That is a concern. And I think that is where trading for Bo Bichette, if you could, again, have Bo Bichette for about 3-4 years, awesome. Great. Cool. But if not, concerning, worrisome, not the kind of player you want to invest long-term money in. So we can sit here and talk about the long-term concerns with Cody Bellinger. But if we're not doing that same conversation with Bo Bichette, aren't we being a little bit disingenuous, right? Aren't we just kind of going after the new toy, right? That's kind of what I'm asking. Offer Bo 8 years. First off, thank you for the super chat, Emmanuel. I don't care. We have it once since 09. Look, that's fair. I understand. I completely understand why people would feel this way, for sure. But again, the question is this player going to even age? Like, what is the aging concern for Bichette? And even this, like, is that really true? Did Bo Bichette not have an awful year a year ago? Did Bo Bichette not completely stink it up a year before? He has missed a good amount of time in each of the last 3 seasons. He has regressed dramatically as an athlete. Dramatically. And the batted ball profile is very much hit the ball hard on the ground, don't really walk a lot. This is not the epiphany. This is not the epitome of consistency. So, like that's kind of where I go. It's not the pinnacle of consistency here. It's not the guy who you look at as consistency personified. He has been inconsistent the last couple of years. He's dealt with injury the last couple of years. Not sure that as he gets closer to 30, you want to buy more on that. Again, not saying he's not a good player, not saying you don't want to pay him at all, not saying if he gets a 5-year deal, I want it. I want Bo Bichette on a 5-year deal. I just don't know if I want that at anything more than that. That's kind of what I'm getting at, It's not that I don't want him at all. It's not that I think he stinks. It's not that I think the Yankees would be adding a bum. It's that, again, we're talking about a team or a player who might get a 7 or 8 year deal and has significant injury concerns, as noted, lower body, surgeries, procedures, incumbent team, not really that interested in bringing him back maybe. We'll see. Now, let's talk a little bit about some other stuff when it comes to the Yankee rumor mill. Hot stove, I know last night was kind of an empty shell. It wasn't a lot talked about, and I kind of want to say this with a lot of asterisks here. I'm not sure the Yankees are going to have a lot of information come out on things they actually do, which is actually, I'm going to be honest, part of my skepticism. It's really like it's part of my skepticism with the Donovan thing. I don't think the Yankees are going to be very much going public about what they want to do, about what they're willing to do. And I think the Yankees are going to kind of see where things go from here. Now, I do want to talk about this guy as a trade target, that being Willson Contreras. I don't want to move off of Ben Rice or Willson Contreras, nor do I really want to push one of Contreras or Rice, the catcher, as my full-time catcher, for Willson Contreras. But I think he mashes. I do think he's a very good offensive fit. The question is, how do you get the games in? I mean, you can get games in, but I don't know how you get the games in. Kind of like, the issue with him is that unlike Okamoto, he can't really play third, but he was a good defensive first baseman this year. Look at the metrics here. -1 DRS, but +4 fielding run value. I trust these two metrics a little bit more when you've got two defensive metrics to tell you that you're good at a position and one say you're slightly below average. Sure, but Willson can play some first, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Willson can play some first. He can play out there. Now, don't think the outfield viability is going to be a thing here. I think it's catcher, and even then, not a lot of catcher, and first base, and DH. But man. Wilson Contreras, dude, this guy crushes as a right-handed bat. This guy's a monster. He's a demon. Versus left-handed pitching. Look at these numbers. I mean, it's 3 straight years. WRC plus over 140. 3 straight years. Wow. That's tough. Wow, that's just brilliant stuff. OPS, ISO. I mean, this is gorgeous, right? This is exactly what you need in your offense against lefties. I mean, this career slash line, 272, 366, 505, 871 OPS. Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous, need it, right? Like that's firepower, man. Like that. You bring him and Donovan in, right? That's firepower. That's firepower. And he's going to need games to rest. He's going to need games to get rest. You can get him time off. You can get, like, Stan's going to miss games. The question is your playoff lineup, but you can kind of figure that out when you get there, right? You can figure that out when you all get there. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a bad ballpark to hit in. Oh man, guys, I need you guys to look at this. Look at this. I want to highlight this. 2023, 15, 18. 2025. Like, this is a good ballpark for him, man. Remember, in 21, I believe he played his final year in Chicago. No, 22. So all 3 years in St. Louis, man, it's been a swing that works at Yankee Stadium. Look, I want to look at the illustrator with you guys because I think we're going to really like what we see here. In terms of that spray chart. And again, I know that this isn't like a thing I would expect necessarily, but like this would be sick. We're going to overlay this over Yankee Stadium. Share this tab for us, folks. Oh, man. Oh, man. There are a couple. You can already see a couple here. You got one right here, probably a couple over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe. Nah, not 6. We're not going to rule this one. Maybe 7. I mean, dude, look at all these doubles. Look at all of them, man. Look at this. Oh, this is gorgeous. Now, you want to only look at home games, let's say, because, hey, you don't play all your games at Yankee Stadium. Totally fair. Cardinal home games. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, let's take a look here. What Savant says about what would change here. I'm counting. 2. 3 so far. Yeah, I think the answer is 3. He'd had 3 home runs if he played all of his home games at Yankee Stadium, which you might go, that's not a lot. Hey, man, in what, 163 play appearances? All right, no, it's not 163. That doesn't count the strikeouts. That's like you add 3 more home runs. You go from hitting 20 home runs to 23 home runs in 135 games. That's gonna push the OPS up a little bit, right? That's gonna push the OPS up. See, I would like this. I like these guys as utility, kind of like put them out in the outfield, right-handed platoon. I'd be in on that. And Nolan Arenado. Yes, I agree. If we get Nolan Arenado, oh man, I'll lose my mind. I said this last year. I'll say it this year. That hasn't changed, folks. That hasn't changed for me. That has not changed for me. And I did see we're up to we're past the 100 like mark. If you want to guess the 150, it'd be great. We're gonna give you guys that extra 30 minutes. We really appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate it. We're gonna give you guys those extra 30 minutes here. And yeah, Tatis is better than Bellinger. I just don't think Tatis is gonna happen. I love Tatis. He's a great player. He's an amazing ball player. He's not just a good ball player, even a great one. He's a Hall of Fame talent. But I personally don't believe the Yankees are gonna kind of have that happen. Rosario is someone the Yankees have eyes on. That's per Jack Curry. Let's see what's going on here. Look, I know Wilson Contreras isn't a quote unquote game changer, but man, you can't tell me that guy isn't helping your lineup. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Everything Yanks. Yes. Wilson Contreras can play every day on this team if you hit him at DH first base catcher. That's 120, 130 games right there. Dudes, Giancarlo Stanton's going to miss time. Every single year he misses time. That's not a diss on Giancarlo Stanton. That's just the player he is. Ben Rice, he's missed time at the minor league level. Wells has missed a lot of time at the minor league level at times. So, the Yankees can rock. Yankees can rock with this. They can get this. They can make this happen. The Yankees can get playing time for Wilson Contreras, that being not his brother William in Milwaukee. Man, Wilson would just you can't tell me this guy doesn't make you better. This guy doesn't make you better. Oh, okay. You're talking about Russ Snyder Hayes. I agree, but I like bench additions. I like to make sure I have a strong bench. Good benches are important to me. Good benches matter to me. A good bench is something I believe in. So, I think that I believe in guys like that. That's kind of where I'm at. So yeah. And then you kind of look at again, with Wilson Contreras, sorry. With Wilson Contreras, this guy, oh man, you think about a lineup where you've got Wilson Contreras ready to deploy against lefties. Guys are going to get hurt. Some guys are going to be worse than you think they are. Hey, I think you got to build your lineup. Like, I don't want to be like an a-hole here, guys. And everything Yanks, I kind of want to get your perspective on this because I know you're kind of banging the drum on Contreras a lot, both here on social media. Doesn't it feel like the Yankees need to kind of be prepared for Giancarlo Stanton to not be that good next year or to be really hurt next year? Am I crazy for saying that? Right? Like, am I crazy for saying that? Guys, am I insane for saying that? I don't feel like I am. I don't feel like I am. He's got options. Cabrera's got options. He's got options. You can option him. You can also option Jose Caballero depending on what happens. Yeah, I agree. You can just platoon him. You can do a lot of things, but there are ways to fix this. But you got to kind of be a little bit, ready to not have Stanton be the guy next year. He's 36, injury prone, right? We'll see. Now, no, you did not get 10 times as much as Will Warren is more valuable than any. Richard Fitz was the second player in this deal. Richard Fitz is not even half as valuable as Will Warren. Will Warren is infinitely more valuable than a Richard Fitz in a trade conversation. Sorry. Curry mentioned Brad Keller. Yo, I don't know if they get him. But I would love that. Right? I would love that. Adolis Garcia is what they meant. I don't know if they're going to be on Adolis, but we'll see. No, I like Fitz, but let's be frank about what Richard Fitz is. Richard Fitz is not projected to be a big league starter as reliably as a Will Warren. Like Will Warren, I'm not saying Will Warren's a stud, but Will Warren, he provided you 162 in the third innings, above average FIP, above average XFIP, above average skill interactive ERA, above average strikeout to walk rate as a starting pitcher. This is the kind of guy that, we got to be honest with you guys. This guy's got value in the market. He's cheap, and that matters. So, yeah, I don't want to say this in the sense that like Will Warren's he's like LeBron James or anything like that, but he's infinitely more valuable than Richard Fitz in this market. And Brandon Clark, he's like I think it was like a top 10 to 15 guy in the Red Sox system. I know that he got ranked on the top 100 at some point, but there's a lot of reliever risk there. Projects him more like a reliever. You mean to tell me that Will Warren isn't going to carry the value of, if he carries more value than Fitz, you can offer a lesser piece. You can offer like a 45 prospect, let's say a Bryce Cunningham, and you're getting, if we're kind of equating Donovan's value to Gray here, you're more than getting Sonny Gray. So, a little bit different here. Do you think we still have a shot at Amai? Yes, we do. I think the Yankees are still have a shot at Amai. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think, I'm not sure you can sit here and tell me that, like, you can't really sit here and tell me that the Yankees, and their offense can rely on Stanton that much. I don't really think that's a fair thing to do. No, he did not go for timeout. Richard Fitz is not a top 10 prospect in the Red Sox system. He's not. Clark, yes, MLB.com had him at that, but he was not a lock. He was a fringe top 10 guy in that system at the end of the year. The end of the year, that was the case. Sorry, no. He was not. The floor of the deal is not. I think Will Warren is a pitch piece that you'd have to probably offer. But you mean to tell me that, like, no, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I just, no. That's not even what you can even sit here and tell me is kind of the situation here. Yeah, I want Schwarber to sign already. I want him to sign already. I just want that to happen. Hey, tell me the team. I'm not saying the Yankees are getting Donovan, but tell me the team. The Royals got more to offer than the Yankees do? They got more pitching to offer than the Yankees do? Astros? Tell me. No, please tell me. Please tell me. Please tell me. Tell me. I would love to know who. Please tell me who. Por favor. Tell me who. Sorry. Donovan trade rumors is kind of the big thing floating around in Yankee Twitter and social media. We'll kind of see if that ends up coming to fruition. I unfortunately do not believe we're going to be signing Tucker. Sorry, fellas. Let's see what else is going on here, fellas. I would love Nico Horner. That'd be great. Yeah, I agree. I would not want the Yankees to trade for Brendan Donovan to play left field. I would not want that to happen. Not at all. I think it's stupid. That's so dumb. The Yankees have the most World Series championships since integration. The most World Series championships in the last 30 years. Yes, in the last 20 years, they have not had more success than everybody else. And that is obviously not good. And, as a Yankee fan, you want it to be better. But, dude, bros, if you get told by a baseball fan that the Yankees are only a successful organization because of pre-integration, Yankees been great post-integration. He's been great since in the expansion era, all those things. So, yeah. We'll see. I don't think he's untouchable. I don't think there's an untouchable prospect. I just don't think there's a player that is going to get the Yankees. I don't think there's a player that's going to get the Yankees kind of going, So we'll see. Trade Heel? Yeah, if they're going to trade a starter, I'd prefer trading Heel over Warren, but I think you get more value trading Warren than Heel. So that's kind of where that dichotomy works, where you can't really just sit here and say, hey, we want to trade Will Warren. We want to trade Luis Heel, but you're going to get a worse player back. Yeah, it's going to be a long winter. We're going to have so little to talk about, it seems, potentially, because, it's going to take a while. Hold on. We've got a scoop. The New York Yankees are among teams that have spoken with the Nationals, according to the Washington Post, about Mackenzie Gore. We're tweeting that, folks. We're tweeting it. Mackenzie Gore is a player of interest to the Yankees. Let's see. They've talked. We'll see if they end up getting him, but let me just post this real quick. We're gonna talk about. We got things to talk about. Let's go. I really was not looking. I did not think we're gonna have anything to talk about. Gonna be completely frank with you guys. There's never anything to talk about in free agency. So we'll kind of go from there. Sorry, I'm just making sure I get this out because I could just text Sam, but that's gonna take a little bit. And I don't want to stop the stream to do that and coordinate that when I can talk to you guys still and double tap that. A lot harder for me to text because my phone creates this is a really complicated thing, but my phone creates electronic interference with my microphone because I have a mic, a condenser mic, and an XLR. It's an XLR mic. So essentially, whenever I put my phone close to my my microphone, it causes issues. So let's talk Mackenzie Gore. All right. I don't think if the Yankees would be getting Mackenzie Gore. I personally don't think that would happen. Okay, Gore, let's talk Mackenzie Gore, everything, Yanks, because I'm excited to talk about this. I think I like Mackenzie Gore. Now, look, ERA the last 2 years have not been great. They have not been great. It's been a decent ERA, but it's an above average ERA. So we're not talking about a bad pitcher. We're talking about a league average pitcher who makes 30 starts a year. Now let's talk about strikeout rate. Strikeout rate's been good. Each of the last 2 years, it's been good. Strikeout to walk rate, 17.8%, 15.9%, both above average. Now there are some barrel issues. He's had issues missing barrels, but man, I think that this is low-hanging fruit. And Aaron, I fully agree. This is low-hanging fruit for the Yankees. Low-hanging fruit. This is someone who... No, I think we're not getting Abrams. Sorry. I think we're not getting Abrams. I apologize, man. I don't think we're getting CJ Abrams. And I also don't know if we're getting Gore, but I really don't think they're getting CJ Abrams because I don't think CJ Abrams is he's such a bad defensive shortstop. I just don't see the Yankees making that kind of trade. Now, Gore, big fastball usage guy. You shouldn't be a 49% fastball usage guy. You shouldn't be. You are not a 50% fastball usage guy. Not in this league, folks. Not in this league. Not in this league. What you are is a guy who struggles to spin the ball laterally. Look at the pitch plot. Struggles to spin the ball, especially away from left-handed batters. Away from left-handed batters. This is an issue, right? This is an issue. You know who else has a similar issue? I'm going to pull up the pitch plot. And is a New York Yankee and left-handed? That's right, folks. Carlos Rodon doesn't really spin the ball that well away from him. He spins the ball well. He struggled to spin the ball laterally for a while. Let's look at his pitch plot pre-Yankees. There is not a lot of lateral here. There's a lot of, it's very much north and south. Spin is about pronation in, supination out. If you supinate well, you throw really good sliders, cutters, et cetera, et cetera. You pronate well, change up sinkers, that'll come more naturally to you. Gore does not seem to do a great job of pronating the baseball. Just like Rodon is not really great at pronating or supinating, excuse me. They don't supinate very well. So how do you fix guys who don't really supinate very well or just struggling to move the ball laterally in general? You play around their pitch grips and you try and use their grips and try and use this concept called seam shifted wake. These kinds of grips allow you to get spin and movement by just altering the way that the seams are aligned in your hand and when they come out your hand, how they align. The Yankees are able to do that with Rodon and get him to throw a good sinker, and they improve the changeup. Gore got good whiff rates on the changeup, 47.2%. Good expected stats, too. I know the average and the slug are high, but 214 xBA, 371 x slug, 47% whiff rate. This is a filthy changeup. It's a good changeup. I don't think it's a bad changeup. And I think that changeup's a big pitch here. A big pitch here. I think the Yankees can make this pitch better. The Nationals, in their previous administration, were turbo dog at pitch design. Turbo dog in pitch design. See if we can get, this is his changeup grip, I believe, right here. I think. Yeah, that's his changeup grip. Seems to be this. No, we're fixing that, right? I think the Yankees can get him to either throw a circle change or maybe even a split. Maybe even a split could work for him. He's got big hands. He's a big dude. Well, I guess all pitchers are big. He's 6'2". He is a big dude. But this is where, being such a fastball slider guy, the Yankees take these guys and they can get them to throw more pitches. You got to embrace the mix. Curveball, the shape on it, pretty solid, all things considered. Nothing crazy, but it's a solid enough shape. A lot of depth. That's going to help, I think, against right-handed batters. I think we got to be pushing that a little bit more against righties. Good cold strike pitch, good whiff pitch if that's possible. Man, slider's nasty. Slider is, look at this, the slider shape here. Just straight bullet spin. It's straight down. Look at how close it is to that zero line. We want to throw the 100-pitch sample here to kind of illustrate this better. Very close to that zero line, man. It is very much a 0-0 slider, essentially. And I like a 0-0 slider, especially from a high slot. So I like that pitch for him. Now, let's finally pull up the final pitch and kind of the piece of the resistance here. The cutter. The cutter in limited usage was a good pitch for Gore. 40% whiff rate. Year prior, good pitch. Like, it wasn't a great pitch, but this is a good cutter, all things considered. This is better than the average cutter. Let's pull up the average cutter stats, which we'll kind of do here. And we'll comp it to Mackenzie Gore's cutter. Let's see. 2024 pitcher. Woba, ex-Woba whiff rate. Last year used this cutter 14% of the time. Let's look at the Gore average cutter, 312 expected Woba the year prior, 25.3% whiff. Gore's cutter, 332 ex-Woba, 32% whiff. More swing and miss, worse damage contact control. Again, I think that's something the Yankees can work on here. Can you improve that cutter shape? Can we make that a better pitch? Definitely possible. Again, just can we add a sinker maybe? It's just about getting off the four-seamer. If we get that four-seamer usage to 40%, cut it down by 9%, I think we're looking at a frontline starter. I think we're looking at a number one starting pitcher, the kind of guy who makes your team that much better. He's got 2 years of control, and they're not on the rise. They're trying to tear it down. That's why they're trying to trade him. It's a new front office, new regime. To kind of be frank here, and you guys are just gonna have to watch my language. If you're listening with a kid here, no, I'm joking. I'm not gonna curse. This is a sorry. This is a team that screwed up their rebuild. This is a team that bleeped up their infield. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Gore has struggled in the second half. He struggled as the volume has gone up. Is that a concern? Yes. Yes, it is. Although, again, we're talking about taking him from like a bottom 3 organization infrastructure-wise under Mike Rizzo to a top 5 pitching infrastructure with the Yankees. Luis Gil, I know, has talent, but Luis Gil being a guy who is your 5 starter and you're like mixing him in with other guys to get them starts, I love that. And again, I kind of look at the Yankees and I go, man, I think the Yankees can kind of entice the Nationals here. Because again, Will Warren, multiple years of control. Emma Rodriguez-Cruz, multiple years of control. Carlos LaGrange, multiple years of control. Apologies, man. But hey, Paul Taboni, I think, is going to put them in a good spot. That's my opinion. But, opinions are like, I'm not going to make that. Actually, I'm not going to make that joke. But again, I don't think they did a good job with the rebuild. Now they can tear it down. They're going to try and reload that farm system. And they've got James Wood, who's a good player, so we can kind of see from there. No, I don't want Keibert Ruiz. Keibert Ruiz can't frame. I do not want him at all. But Mackenzie Gore, I do want him. And yes, we can talk about the lefty situation. Fellas, let's look at how lefties. Let's see. How lefties perform against righties. And this is another point here, too. He could be a guy who translates into a bullpen role and is just freaking filthy, man. In 2025, right-handed batters or left-handed batters against right-handed hitters. This past season, across the league. Oh, okay, I didn't pull up the league stats. Sorry. They slashed 248, 326, 421. So that's an OPS of 747. Again, that is lefties against righties this year. So the average lefty had a higher OPS than the league average against right-handed batters. Let's inverse this. Lefties, right-handed batters versus left-handed pitchers this past year. It's an OPS of 721. Lefties, or lefty pitchers, were better against righties than righty pitchers were against lefties. Lefties as a whole performed much better than right-handed pitchers this year. It's been the year of the mix, yes. It's also been the year of the left-handed pitcher. Mike Petriolo did an article, right-handed outfielders are harder to find than ever before. We look at the average left-handed pitcher. We're going to split through lefties here. We're going to share this tab here. League. Average left-handed pitcher, 3.84 ERA. 14.5% strikeout to walk rate. What about the average right-handed pitcher? Oh, that's 2024, 2025. Okay, look at these. Good numbers, right? Now let's look at right-handed pitchers. Man. Worse strikeout to walk rate. Way worse ERA. Way worse FIP. Right-handed pitchers were worse than left-handed pitchers. And again, lefties were worse against left-handed pitchers were better against right-handed hitters than right-handed pitchers were against left-handed hitters. So when we talk about, we're going to have Gore, Fried, and Rodon, you can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. This is the league to do that in. This is the league to stack up on lefties. And at least this current iteration of Major League Baseball is the time to go after lefties. Go after lefties. Go after lefties. Unfortunately, Roderick Arias is he's in bust category. Sorry, fellas. I hate to be that guy, but they're in bust territory. In bust territory. So, yeah. Joe, I am a loser. I am a loser. I am a loser. That's how that happens. I am a loser. So yeah, I'm a loser. Right? Yeah, that's it. Trade McMahon and healer prospect for Donovan and sign Tucker and the lineup is set. I think that'd be a good deal for the Yankees. I don't think that's going to happen. If you calm down and analyze the market, Cashman's probably being patient. I'm still positive he spent some money, make some deals. Even Andy Martino. So Andy Martino had another quote regarding let's have another quote. There's another quote from I typed in the wrong thing. Yeah, I agree. They don't want McMahon. I agree. They don't want McMahon. Where's this video? Man. Cody Bellinger. Yeah, this is a good point. They mashed your lefties, sure, but that was like that's very much carried by one guy. You know? Hey, I appreciate that, but you have to be so obsessed with like baseball stats in order, I think, to like really nail down navigation of a website. Like you legitimately have to be, and I say this not like I think I'm a loser or whatever. Like you have to kind of be a loser about it in order for this to work. I'm trying to find the Andy Martino video of him talking about the Cody Bellinger thing because he said something other, like he said Cody Bellinger front runner. I would love Sandy Alcantara. I'd love Sandy Alcantara. We're gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna share this tab.
How is his market? Andy, you heard Todd mention Cody Bellinger. How is his market developing right now, and how does it impact the Mets?
Yeah, well, so a little bit of Yankee reporting that in this case directly impacts the Mets is that coming out at the end of the season, the postseason, it was like Bellinger and the Yankees. It was just so perfect that they had to reunite, and Cody loved it there. The Yankees loved having him, so I was like, this is going to happen. And while I still believe the Yankees are the front runner for Bellinger, where they're at this offseason, I can tell you they're not going to chase. If the market for Bellinger goes at 6-7 years or whatever the Yankees consider unreasonable, they're just not doing bidding wars this year, I don't think. So obviously how that impacts the team whose hot stove show we are having right now is that it seems like Bellinger is more available on the open market to the highest bidder, which may not be the Yankees after all, and obviously is a guy that can prevent a lot of runs in the outfield and at first base. Just such a perfect fit for the Mets.
Yeah. Andy, you heard.
So again, he views the Yankees as the front runner. But hey, they're not going to push that hard after. Like they're not going to go, hey man, you want a seventh year? I want you back, so I'm going to do it. So we'll kind of see where that happens. What happens there? Me personally, again, I would like to sit here and ask myself, or ask people, who's giving him 7 years? Who's giving him 6 years? Right? Tell me. Right? If they traded for Gore, Amaya would be off the table. Yeah, probably. But like, dude, man, how can I kind of have to see what the market look like. I have to see what Amaya signs for and what Gore costs in a trade for me to know how I'd feel about this, right? Cost matters. And cost is important. And you got to kind of see kind of where the market takes you. But I do think Gore is a good pitcher for you to add. And just like Amaya, like it's a talent grab. It's a whiff percentage grab. It's a grab at, hey, I want to get swings and misses. I want good stuff. I want a guy who, again, this past year, 80th percentile whiff rate, a guy who misses bats, a guy who can be that impact arm for your rotation, that guy who can elevate and dominate at a level that, maybe exceeds the raw stuff of the other guys you have in your rotation, a guy who's got, really good fastball velocity, who has good extension, who's got good stuff. That's the kind of guy, like the Yankees do really well with flyers. And Gore strikes me as the ultimate kind of flyer. He will be 27 in February. Just saying. Yeah, it stinks. It does. I do think the Mariners, they traded, I think, appropriate value for Ferreira. I think both teams did pretty well in this deal. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. right? Is what it is. Wait a minute. We've got a couple of things I want to talk about before I keep thoughts on Casey Mize. Don't think he gets traded. I mean, he'd be cool. How about Mitch Keller? Again, like, he'd be cool. He's solid. He's solid. He's solid. He's solid. Nothing crazy. Right? He's a solid starting pitcher. Nothing crazy. Don't think the upside play is as enticing anymore because the velo's gone down. But he's a better pitcher, I think, than like Luis Heel is. But again, would I rather gamble on Luis Heel at like, I don't know, like what, $3-4 million in arbitration money, and gamble on at zero prospect cost, or gamble on with $18 million for the next 3 years, $18 million a year, and then kind of look at and then you have to trade prospect for Keller. Like, is that gamble at that point worth it? My answer is probably no. Like, at that point, I'm like, all right, I'd roll with like hoping Luis Seal or Will Warren kind of take that step forward over trading for Mitch Keller, because there's opportunity cost in that financially and both trade wise. So we'll kind of see what happens here. Keller's fastball velo and swing and miss stuff are just not there anymore. Again, it's not that he's bad. It's not that he's terrible. It's just that he's not the kind of guy who like 2 or 3 years ago was like super buzzy, super high profile fit. That kind of guy, right? The Pirates did offer a deal to Schwarber. We'll kind of see if that ends up coming to fruition. Yeah, that's the thing with Keller. Keller's like he's average, right? He's average, and he might be better than average, but he's average. And that's not really the kind of guy that I'm in love with. That's not the kind of guy that I'm head over heels for. That's not the kind of guy who, I die for. So, is it strange that the Astros traded Tucker and the Cubs don't want him back? It might be strange. It also might be cheap. It also might be cheapness. So, I don't think it's like Kyle Tucker is a mega villain. Do I think there are concerns with his character? If organizations feel that way, they feel that way. I can't. How do I know that? Right? Like, how do I know that? How do I know that? I've never talked to Kyle Tucker. I don't have a personal relationship with Kyle Tucker. I can't accurately assess his personality, so that's kind of where I'm at there. We're interested in ceiling raisers or not floor raisers. Is it clickbait? Brendan Donovan and the Yankees thing, that is something that was percolating on social media. So I put trade brewing ? Because is a trade brewing? Yeah. Padres need left-handed power. Thoughts on a Spencer Jones-centered package for Jeremiah Estrada? Like, I would do it. I don't know. It depends. Do the Padres feel that way? That's kind of the real question here. Go get Beater back from the Nationals. Come home, King. Hey, you missed a good amount of bats, and his stuff looked pretty good. So I'm hoping that is if he came back, with the way his stuff looked with Washington, that'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty dope. Pretty dope. Let's see what happens here. Yes. The Red Sox meeting with Alonso, that has actually been disputed. That has been a little bit disputed. Yeah, I just, you can't know that. Like, maybe it ends up being true, but like, can you really know that, right? Can you really know that? I don't know. That's just me. Don't you think Contreras contract would be too high for a platoon catcher? Yeah, that's the fair point. Like, how much are the Yankees gonna be willing to pay a guy who like maybe doesn't start for you every single day? So yeah, I think Tucker would be great. Is great, but the guy should be hot, and he's not, and I don't get it. Again, look. There are reasons to go, hey, what's going on here, man? But is that going to be something that happens? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a situation where we're looking at this dude who is like a complete POS and we're just all missing out on it, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Could be just possible that not everyone's got money to give him. That's kind of where I look at things. So yeah. Hey, maybe we are, maybe we're not. We'll kind of see. We'll see. We will see. Zach Gallen or Framber Valdez? Framber is the better pitcher. And if I'm going to pay any money for a starter, at that point, just give me Framber, right? At that point, just give me Framber. That's kind of where I'm at there. Tim Healy says it's likely we'll be meeting with him when he arrives tomorrow. Okay. So I guess that's going to happen. No, I don't think it's laughable. Jeremiah Estrada is disgustingly good. 4 years, no money committed to him basically for 2026. I mean, I don't think this is crazy. Jeremiah Estrada is like a top 20-ish reliever in the game, guys. Yeah, that's a good point. His market wasn't hot, and a team got him on a cheap deal, like a steal essentially. So this is a really good point. This is a really, really, really good point. I love this a lot. I really love this example. No, I don't want to sign Suarez. I don't. I think there's too much money involved there. Too much swing and miss. Old guy could end up just being a complete dud. Could end up striking out, 32, 33% of the time. A little too worried about like kind of the long-term fit here. Yeah, he's got character concerns, but you know what? He's got like very public ones, and I'd still want him more than I'd want Gallen, because I think Gallen's like a big question mark. But again, I could be wrong. Who would you trade for? I mean, ideally, like I would love to trade for a starter if we don't get him. Gore is high on that list for me. I have actually a ranking I came out with. I was going to post it today. I think I forgot to post it. All right. Like I posted it on the website, but I didn't tweet it out. Let's kind of look at this together, folks. I keep doing the let's look at this together, folks. We're a lot today. Let's kind of see where we're at here. 5, I had Keller on like rotation options. I excluded Ryan, Lopez, and Skubal because I did not believe any of these guys would be traded because that's been reported that's not really likely. So Keller was 5 and a distant 5. I think the closing words I used here were, I'm not exactly sure he's the pitcher you want to add as you effectively remove yourself from the starter market for a year or two. Yep. Edward Cabrera was 4. Gore was 3 behind Sandy and Peralta. I like Sandy's reliability innings on a season basis in terms of innings. But Gore was a close. It was close between 2 and 3. Peralta was 1 for me because I think he's just the best starter of this group. But Gore, I like Gore. I like him better than Cabrera as a risk guy. I think he's better. If you want to argue with me that like Sandy's not as good as Gore, that's fair. I like Sandy's raw, just velocity. And I've loved Sandy for a bit now, so I might be a little bit biased. Don't think we'd be giving up George Lombard Jr. if we got Freddie Peralta, but I also think Freddie Peralta is like a less than 50% trade probability. Now, again, in the case of Gore, and I didn't capitalize here, which is stupid. I got to fix that. I made the comparison to Rodon in terms of not being able to move the ball well laterally. I'm sure I'll do a video on this. I'm sure I'll do a video on this tomorrow, actually. Talk about him and Keller. But yeah. And yes, the idea of Spencer Jones, this power hitting center fielder, and then this power hitting center fielder who plays really good defense. And I is just like, that's exactly what you want. So like, but like the actual idea of the player, man, turbo dog shit, right? Turbo dog shit. Not exactly like there's a turbo dog shit outcome there. There's an outcome where, he ends up just striking out 40% of the time, so yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 1 second. I might have to send out a couple of texts. Give me 1 second. Just because I just got to make sure I communicate with Sam about a couple of things because I have a couple of rumors on that was posted on Hot Stove that I want to make sure I can read off. Let's see. Okay. This is what I wanted to check here. Amed Rosario is someone I want to talk about for a little bit. Just because Amed Rosario could come back, and I do want to make sure I touch on that. I don't want to ignore Theo Amed. We'll kind of see what Amed Rosario's price tag looks like, but guys, this is what you want in a bench player. And I know that like the defense is not good, and that's concerning. Let's kind of see here. Gore, left-handed wise, not Gore. Rosario, left-handed wise, destroys lefties, man. This destroys them. 298, 336, 464, 120 WRC plus. This is a guy I like a lot. This is a guy I like a lot for the bench. Vibes guy, elite level vibes guy. And I think elite level vibes guys are important. Like I don't think personality is like that important to the point where I'm going to sit here and tell you, oh man, you've got to add guys who are good. Like this is not in contradiction to the Kyle Tucker thing. This is me saying that when it comes to a bench guy, I kind of want it. Like I kind of want it to be. I kind of want it to be. I kind of want it to be a guy like Rosario, Big Row. Big Row's tough. Big Row's super tough. Big Row's super tough. Big Row's super tough. Yeah. I love Miggy Rowe. I did love Miguel Rosario before he became Turbo, but Amed Rosario, Big Row. But yeah, I don't know. I think Rosario is my guy for this. We're going to end up on the final 5-minute mark here. I can't, you know what? Guys, screw it. We're going a little bit longer. Let's go for 2 hours. If you guys can get me to where we at, I think we're at like the 110 mark. Let's see. Where are we at likes-wise? If we can get to, because I need to set a bar higher than the current number. I don't want to go. We're at 153. Can you guys find a way to get me to 200? Now, I might still go anyways, but it's a 100% chance I will go for another, like, I'll get to the 2 hour mark if we get to 200. So, yeah. Let's see right now. Rating for hell yeah, man. I appreciate that, Joe. You're the man. Dominguez, unless I think you're gonna have to trade for less. It's gonna take way more to get Tatis, and you're not getting Tatis, so that's kind of that. Let's dial in for a second here. All right, let's read this mock trade. Gil, Dominguez, Arias, Raiselman. Yankees get Peralta, McGill. Now, okay, chat, do we think that this is a trade that the Brewers or the Yankees would say no to? I think the Brewers are more likely to say no to this than the Yankees, but I don't think this is a turbo trade. I just think that this needs could you swap, if you swap out Hill for Warren, is this deal getting done? I think yes. The issue is for the Brewers, the lack of fit outfield wise, actually. Like they already have outfielders. Look at the depth chart here. I'm trying to think about this a little bit more critically because, I'm not obviously immediately acclimated with their roster. Guess you could slot him in for Jake Bauers. That's pretty seamless fit. You put him in left field, immediately better than Jake Bauers. No disrespect to Jake Bauers. Actually, I didn't know Jake Bauers had this good of a year, but he's not projected. He's not as good of a hitter as he was last year. I think that you would make an upgrade over Jake Bauers. You'd get a lot of control here. Maybe they can trade Bauers away. He makes a decent chunk of change. I think he makes like $2 or $3 million. Not that that's a lot of money, but yeah, me personally don't think that that's I think, yes, they do have. Oh, wait, where is someone hurt on this list? Where's Mitchell? Oh, they have him optioned in AAA. Oh. But Mitchell wasn't good this past year. Mitchell's kind of turbo. He's I think he's ARB eligible. He's ARB eligible. So I don't know. I don't think this is terrible. Again, it depends on how badly the Brewers want an outfielder, whether they view Dominguez as a quality player or not. But I think again, you kind of have to upgrade on the pitching side. The pitching side has to be better in this deal. It's got to be a better pitcher. And I agree. I don't see. You can't sit here and tell me that the New York Mets are seriously considering giving Cody Bellinger 6 years. You just can't convince me of that. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner. Let's kind of look at some data here. And this is via Jacob STL, Jacob ESTL. He works at Baseball Prospectus. He does some articles there. He's also on the Wake Forest analytics team. This guy's a mega genius. This guy's a rising star in the baseball industry. I know he's not a big name right now, but give him a few years and you're going to see him in a major league organization. This guy's a genius, man. This guy's a really smart kid. Now let's talk about Cody Bellinger ballpark fit. Sorry, I can't spell, guys. And we're going to go NYM. Now, this is WOBA. If you guys don't know what WOBA is, think of it like OPS, right? Trying to be this all-encompassing offensive stat. This is on batted balls. So, obviously, it can't account for a difference, how it would affect your walks and your strikeouts. But you can see how it affects your batted ball data. 20-point drop off in WOBA on contact. Let's kind of look at some comparisons here in terms of guys that compares to. I'm going to go on Baseball Savant, which is where you can find weighted on base average on contact, which is again just evaluating how good. Eventually, it values the quality of outcome on your batted balls. So just think of hey, what am I producing on just my batted balls? Share this tab. 383 Wobicon. So 382 was Bellinger, I believe here. Yeah, 382. That's Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s outcomes on batted balls. Let's look at 364. Perez, Goldschmidt, lesser hitters. I mean, a 362. No, Nick Castellanos. Michael Garcia was good this year. He was a good hitter, but he wasn't a great hitter. Boom. Man, these are, and it's not like you look at some of the guys here who are really good hitters and are in this group. I know Bellinger's here at 370, but again, this is estimated, and obviously the Yankees aren't playing every game at Yankee Stadium. Let's kind of look at some of the guys who are here and are good hitters. Brendan Donovan, 119 WRC plus. William Contreras actually struggled a good bit this year. Was more of like a league average hitter. Let's look at Nick Castellanos. Let's kind of compare to these guys here. You've got Brendan Donovan, elite level strikeout to walk rates, right? Really good strikeout to walk rates. Doesn't chase a lot. High squared up percentage. This guy, his quality of contact is a lot better than people think. Don't see Bellinger as like an elite contact rate guy, or excuse me, an elite plate discipline guy. He's not an elite plate discipline. He is an elite contact guy. You look at the guys who are like more similar to Bellinger in that regard, like high chase kind of hitters. You've got your Paul Goldschmidts. You've got your guys like a Nick Castellanos, who we kind of saw a little bit lower on this list. Your Cedon Rafaelas. Obviously, Bellinger's plate discipline's better than Cedon's. He's kind of like 30-ish, 35-ish grade plate discipline. Point is, you've got to be either like freakish outlier contact rate or really good plate discipline, like elite level plate discipline. Bellinger's not that. Bellinger's more of like, he's going to make enough contact where the plate discipline's good. He's going to make enough contact where that's kind of the case here. But we'll kind of see where things go from here. I just I don't think we're looking at Cody Bellinger as a guy where the Mets can look at him and go, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. They're gonna bring him in and he's gonna hit over there. No, he's not. I don't think he's gonna hit that well over there. And you get give him 6 years? You just traded Brandon Nimmo and you're gonna go, wow, 6 years. Let's go get 6 years for Cody Bellinger, who's gonna turn 31 next year. After Brandon Nimmo's athleticism, he went from a really good defensive center fielder, really fast guy, to let's go out there and let's go get a guy who like, guys, come on. Like, I just don't see it with the Mets. I'm not sure that that's the most feasible thing in the world. Now the Phillies, it makes sense. That ballpark really works for him. That ballpark's great for him. It's a team who wants to win. It's a team that may be willing to do something stupid to go get better. And if they lose Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Schwarber probably the first guy's going to go. Like, that's important to talk about. That's important to talk about. But man, you can't really tell me that the New York Yankees are in competition with the Mets on this. Right? You can't tell me the Mets are going to go out there and throw him that 6-year offer. Martino mentioned in a previous segment, kind of hinted it's contingent on that Pete Alonso contract. And would they be willing to give him $40 million a year too? Like, that's another question. So, maybe they're willing to go like $30 million a year on a 5-year deal, and that could scare us. But even then, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. So, we'll kind of see how things go from here. I do think that the Mets will be somewhat involved in this, but I don't know. I just don't view them as like, wow, they're going to be this team that is willing to offer him so much more than the New York Yankees are willing to offer him. I look at him as more of like hey, this is a guy who, like, if the Yankees don't step up with any offers, the Mets can be opportunistic. Same thing with like the Dodgers, same thing with like the Blue Jays. If they don't get Kyle Tucker, we'll kind of see where things go from there. And yeah, I think I have the feeling he wants more than 4 years, for sure. I have the feeling he wants more than 4 years, but we'll kind of see what that looks like. So again, not really sure what they want, not really sure what they want to get. But yeah. No, they're not trading for J-Ram. I wish I wish I could be with you, bro, but I can't be with you on this, folks. My man, Owen, I can't be with you on this. I can't be with you on this. I just can't. I just can't. Yeah. So we're going to go for about, another 30-ish minutes. And yeah, if it's 7 years, I'm letting him walk. If it's $40 million a year for 4 years, I'm letting him walk, bro. Like, I'm letting him walk. Joel Sherman article just dropped. What if the Yankees let him go? Alternatives, pivots. So he hasn't heard the Yankees. So Joel Sherman threw Amed Rosario and Lane Thomas has not said. He says players he likes and are not interested in. Let's see. the Yankees are not. He's not sure. He has not heard the Yankees are interested in. Ref Snyder. Horner is a guy he'd put out there, but he hasn't heard interest there. Buxton same. Or hasn't heard that like those guys are available. Jorge Polanco. I do not want Adolis Garcia as like a starting player. No. Like Luis Robert, like I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to take that risk, but like, man, no. Man, I don't know. Yeah, dude, I agree. Like, why not go get Kyle Tucker? I agree. Like, why not go do that? But like, it is what it is, bro. Like, I can't really I can't do anything about it. I just can't. Nah. I don't think they're trading Geraldo Perdomo. That guy's like a top 5 contract in baseball. No shot. Yeah, as long as you don't mention IKF, I won't freak the you know what out. Like that's really my ting right here. I am the Yankees. That is a great point. I am the Yankees. That is a very good point. I am the Yankees, and I will just I would like Ref Snyder. That'd be my dog. The ref, big ref. Give me big ref out here. Big ref. Oh yeah, baby. Big ref. Is this a thing? Oh, we got an article. Oh. Yankees are calling about Trevor McGill. I love this. Please give me Trevor McGill. I would do anything for Trevor McGill. Not anything, but like, you know, I'm using some hyperbole. I like fastball velocity, fellas. Yo, a mí me gusta. A mí me gusta. Let's see. Okay. Teams. So we're going to read this article. I'm sorry, fellas. Let's see. I love Trevor McGill. I love this guy would be a rock star in this Yankee bullpen. Sorry, I want McGill. I want McGill so bad, fellas. I want McGill so bad. And they're open for business if somebody matches that thing for Peralta, that price. He is like, this is what I want, folks. I want the Yankees to go get some freaking arms, man. I need to load up on arms. Dude. Some arms. And I look, let's educate the masses on Trevor McGill. You might go, why do you want Trevor McGill? Not getting the hype. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help. I'm here to inform. I'm here for that. Right? I'm here for that. Let's look at this, fellas. Share this tab instead. Let's look at this. Whiff percentage, 31.4% fastball, 99.2 miles per hour. Oh, baby. Oh, man, that knuckle curve, disgusting. Dude, this guy's gross. 33% K rate, 2.49 ERA. Gross. This guy's gross. We need to pull up some Trevor McGill highlights on Twitter. Pitching Ninja, don't get me demonetized. Pitching Ninja, do not get me demonetized. Pitching Ninja, please, God, do not get me demonetized. Do not. I hope this is pitch. Now, I want you to look at this. Why should the Yankees be in on Trevor McGill? It's kind of. That's why. Hey guys, can we replay that again? Why should the Yankees be on Trevor McGill? Does anyone need, hey, does anyone want a second? Please in chat, if you're here, do you need a reminder? Do you need a second look? Does anyone want to look again? I'm like a teacher here. Anyone want me to go over this again? Does anyone want me to go over this again? Do I have to explain anything further? Please, in chat, if you please let me know if you need if you need another reminder. Yes, please. Okay. That is 101 dotted. That's a good point. You did call it, John. Too many walks, JK. Aaron, I can't lie. I don't know what a trade package would look like for him. I don't. And that's kind of the tough thing here. But the Yankees being interested, I think the Yankees are very much going to be involved in run prevention. That's kind of the landscape, and just to avoid demonetization, I'm just going to change it a neutral tab. I don't get the sense that the Yankees are going to be like skittish on the pitching market. I think they want to go get some arms. They want to go get some octane gas, right? They want to go get some gas, man. Go get some stuff, dude. Go get some stuff. I want some stuff. Sylar is mega tough. Mega tough. For the people who told me, I want to know something. Where are all the people who about a day ago were going, they're not in on anybody, so they're not going. I bet they're going to be radio silent. They're going to be radio silent about this. They're not going to talk about this. Those people are not going to talk about this. Dude, Barry Bonds was a free agent. They didn't get him. That is always the thing I'll say. Greg Maddux was a free agent. They didn't get him. Yo, I will say this. If Tyler McGill didn't tear his UCL, I would actually be kind of in on this. And he has 2 years left. Big Drip McGill is an 80 grade nickname. It is an 80 grade nickname. You just can't convince me that is an 80 grade. Also, someone said show the curve. We're gonna look at look at these 3 strikeouts. Sit down. See ya. 101, baby. Bang. Look at that swing. Hold on. Look where this breaking ball starts. Nope. That's an 88 mile per hour curveball. What? Hold on. That's, again, it's 99 painted. Bang. It's 99 painted. Hold on, one more time. Bang. 99 painted. And then what is it? Bang. 101 away. One more time. Bang. 101 away. No. One more time. Bang. And then when you go, okay. Well, he doesn't have anything else. See ya. 88 bomb. Gone. Too easy. It's too easy. You guys want to see him throwing one? You guys, what else do you want to see? What else do you have to see? And I agree. He could be. This guy is disgusting. I'm going to fire off a pretty asshole level tweet. We need more big boys. Oh, yeah, we need big boys. They need the big guns. Some velo, baby. I'm going to hurt my shoulder a little bit. I'm going to stop doing that. Thinks the Yankees should get Bichette. Look, if the Yankees can get Bichette on like a 4-year deal, great. But if it's a 7 or 8 year deal, don't tell me, well, he could just play shortstop for you. No. Guys. Bo Bichette at shortstop's a disaster. Like, Bo Bichette is the worst defensive shortstop in baseball. And don't tell me I wouldn't care how he plays defense if he hits well. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would not. You would absolutely care about how he plays defense if he doesn't freaking. It doesn't matter if he hits. You're going to care about his defense. You're going to care about his defense. -10 fielding run value, -12 defensive run save, -13 outs above average. He didn't even play a full year there. Like, you just can't tell me that you would actually not care about how a guy plays defense at shortstop. At shortstop. At shortstop. Come on, man. Again, a 4-year deal? For it. Maybe a 5-year deal? Maybe. For it. Maybe. But on a 7 or 8-year deal? No. 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 You could sit here and tell me the defense doesn't matter. It does. It's literally the most important defensive position outside of catcher. It is such an important defensive position. It is such an important defensive position. Warming Barnabel, I just kind of want him for the name. I just want him for the name, man. I just want him for the name. I just want him for the name. Yeah, I know. He put up a negative war. Come on, the name. Come on. I just want him for the name. No, I'm joking. I don't actually care if he signs with the Yankees or not. Yeah, this is Turbo Dog right now. Let's trade for McGill and Clevenger. It'd be so beautiful, man. I'd be smiling. That'd be smiling. Yeah, dude, I am a loser on Fangraphs. Yeah, I would say this is exactly what I would do. This is exactly what I would do as a contract offer. Yeah, look, if they trade Jazz, yes, but it's like Bichette is a slow, like this is kind of my thing. The Yankee fan doesn't want the team to be slow, unathletic. Like, we bemoaned the 2000s, the early 2020s Yankees for being slow and unathletic. Couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it. And we're sitting here and we're talking about how they need to go and remove one of their most athletic players and one of their fastest players for a guy who struggles to move laterally and struggles to move in general and might end up being a bad defensive second baseman and, isn't going to age very well physically. Like, that's I don't love that. I don't love that. I don't love that. Right? I don't love that. That's just me. That's just me. And I know he might be gone in a year, but you could argue, like, would you rather hand out a 7 or 8 year deal to Bichette or like a 6-year deal to Jazz? And I would personally have to think about that a little bit, but I think Jazz is going to age better than Bichette might. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, I'm not saying they have the assets for all these players, but I think they do have the assets to go get a big arm, and then try and sign some guys. We'll kind of see there. We'll see where they go there. Right, so we'll kind of see. But we'll kind of see how things go with that. Again, I'm not saying that Bichette is turbo or that if the Yankees sign him, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just saying, man, I don't see it. I don't see it, right? I don't see it at 7 or 8 years. I don't. No, I think he can play first. I'm very happy for him to play first. Yeah, defense matters. No, I mean, look, I get it. I don't think Jazz is paying him either, but dude, if you can do crack. If you, can I say that without getting demonetized? You can do that, and you can, if you're not a bad person off the field, if you got an 800 OPS, you hit 30 home runs, you steal 30 bases, I don't care. I don't. That's just me. But payment wise, long term payment, that's a different conversation. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I can't guarantee that. Can't guarantee that. I also think if you're Jazz, do you want to sign an extension? The Yankees don't really do extensions. We'll kind of see how things shake out here. I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. Xander, there's not a lot of game pop here. So that's kind of where I'm at. There's not a lot of game pop here. Okay, cool. Turbo dog shit. It's one of my favorite. Don't. Okay. That's why I said okay. I didn't want to. I don't know if I can trust you, man. No disrespect. I just don't know. Would you trade McMahon and put Jazz back? I would be willing to do it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Like I'd be willing to do it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah. Look, I love Nico. You guys know I like Nico Horner. I like him a lot. Man, I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. Yeah, low draft pick. Crazy how much value they got for Rice. So when we wrap here, I'm actually going to work on an article about Gore, and we'll talk about Mackenzie Gore, talk about the chances of that. Like we'll have an article on ESM after this. So yeah, we'll kind of have that. Dude, I am a big, this is like, I got this off a tweet. I forget. Oh, it was a tweet. Like if you see former first round pick attached to a player when they get traded or signed or whatever it may be, then you know that they're turbo dog shit. And I think it is the best tweet of all time because it's so true. And the other thing in all of this is that like, bro. It's such a good phrase. It really is. Nico up for trade hasn't been reported as a thing. Just speculation from people. Would love Donovan. As a Yankee, Mariners linked to Donovan as well. Isn't their pitching farm system challenging? Yeah. Now, if the Mariners are involved, that is definitely a concern, right? Like because they would have a real need for a second baseman, and we'll kind of see where things go from there. So like I'm curious to see kind of how that shakes out, right? So Mariners. I'm not saying the Yankees are going to 100% get a Donovan. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I do think that the interest might be real there. This is a good point, but I think this was a football tweet. So that's why, like, I think in football it's 100% true. Like there's about a 9, like there's like a 99% chance if you say former first round pick X, Y, and Z, and there's no other accolades there. Turbo dog. Yeah, it's 80 grade, man. What's up, Joe? Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. I really do. Joe's my guy. I love Joe. He's a great man. Great man. Let's see what else we got here. I see LaGrange being the Yankee bullpen by next July. If they don't have to trade him, man, LaGrange in the bullpen would be disgusting. I'd love it. I love Carlos LaGrange. Stuff is disgusting. That's not a guy who's turbo. We don't use the word turbo to talk about Carlos LaGrange. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about the word turbo and Carlos LaGrange, right? That's the kind of player he is. So yeah. No, I can count it on one hand. No, because you've got like Tatis. I would trade him for Skeens. Trade these other guys. Like would I trade him for if I was not the Yankees, or like would I trade him for Cal Raleigh? Like yes. So I trade him for Bobby Witt Jr. Yes. Would I trade him for Ohtani? Yes. Would I trade him for Jose Ramirez? I think I would. I mean, how is he 33? I think I'd consider it. I would trade him for Julio Rodriguez. I'd trade him for trying to think who else here. Like would I trade him for Gunnar Henderson? Yes. Would I trade him for Junior Caminero? I think I would. Although like that's like a little bit edgy. Point is like that's more than 5. And at the guaranteed, like Judge, Cal, Bobby Witt, Shohei Ohtani, Paul Skeens, like right then and there, done. That's a list. Crochet, I was shooting for Crochet. So yeah, that's kind of like Yamamoto, Tatis, I would do this easily. The Padres would say no for one. Like this, I would do that easily. So like there are more than 5 players. It's just not a long list of players. It's a decently short list compared to a guy who's a first baseman. Do you think the Yankees would take do you think School would take a $450 million 10-year extension after a trade? I think it's possible. But it's Boris, so like you can't rule out the outcome that he doesn't do that. Right? Trading Spencer Jones for Sandy Alcantara. I would have done it. Looking back, I would have done it. Because I think that you would have had, no, because Schlittler then doesn't pitch for you in the postseason. So like that is kind of like the tough thing there. I guess like the Garrett Cole trade, there's not really a prospect. I don't think Judge was involved there. So I guess, yeah, I would have traded for Garrett Cole in 17, because it stops the Astros from being better than you in 18 and 19. You might be able to make Cole into a stud. That's kind of where my head's at. The other guy or the other trade I would have made, knowing what was on the table. The Yankees were going to trade. Not trade. The Yankees were not going to trade. The Cubs, I think, offered a deal where it was like Horner for Schmidt as like the main deal. It's like something I heard, and I would have done that. In hindsight, I wish they did that. That was last year. Obviously, Schmidt's UCL didn't explode yet, so and we don't know who else was in there. So, but like kind of like surface level, like I would have done that. So, yeah, we're gonna start wrapping things up here in the next few minutes. Jonathan, I appreciate you stopping by, man. You're the man. Yeah, I would agree. Like this is definitely like. This is definitely it. Cliff Lee is a great pull. Yes, Cliff Lee is a great pull because that was like if the Yankees had traded Eduardo Nunez and like Ivan Nova, essentially, they would have gotten him. And yeah, I would have done that, obviously. Yeah, if Rice sucks, that would suck. That would suck, right? That would have sucked for us. We'll see if that ends up happening. I don't think it will, but that would suck. Glaber for Verdugo, dude, I remember that being like a rumor, and Schmidt for Verdugo was a rumor, and I'm really happy we didn't do either of those things. So yeah, Schmidt's demeanor is why I'm confident this guy can be a 1 or 2. Great stuff, great size. Yeah, dude, I've got to be honest. I think Cam Schlitt's demeanor is exactly like I agree. Like I think the makeup for him is excellent. So, you know, I really want the Yankees. I really want the Yankees to keep kind of pushing Schmidt and letting him Schlittler and keep letting him be that guy because like the demeanor is excellent. This guy has the personality and kind of like the demeanor of an ace number 1 starting pitcher. Yes, I forgot Cliff Lee, his wife was mistreated by Yankee fans. That is a thing that did happen. I forgot about that. But still, like, would I have traded for him? Yes. Even if he didn't resign here. Yes. Just because you would have won, you would have won the World Series in 2010, I think. And yeah, I will be. I will be. I remember the whole Luis Castillo BS rumor. Yeah, I mean, I don't think, you know, I don't personally think that, how do I put this? Like, I don't think the Yankees could have gotten Luis Castillo, but I know that they like traded Volpe. I guess they could have gotten Castillo in 22. And I guess in hindsight, it would have done that. I guess that's another one you can throw up there. So, yeah, imagine Cole and Cam together, man. If Cole can get back to where he was even in 2023, that'd be sick. Imagine we've been talking about giving up some insane prospects for Brian. Yes, that would have been a disaster because he's aged very poorly. So yeah, he has not aged particularly well. Let's see what else we got. Oh man, dude, I remember this, and it was like, oh, he's gonna be a Yankee, and then got traded, and we didn't get. We got Montas, and Montas didn't end up working out, and Castillo was awesome for the Mariners down that stretch. Although I will say the contract hasn't been great for the Mariners. The contract extension has not been awesome for them. Not awful, just hasn't been awesome. Probably an underwater prospect at this point, underwater contract at this point in time. No, we're not going to trade. You're not going to get anything back for Stanton. No one's trading for Stanton. He has a no trade clause. So like, no. 80% Cole, would you sign up? 80% of 2020, 80% of what version of Garrett Cole? What version of Garrett Cole, John? Just tell me what version I'm getting. I'll give you a better answer. Yeah, they did give up a lot for him, for sure. I need something big to happen while you're live for the reaction. No name guy, I want you to know something. It's going to happen like 5 minutes. If something happens, it'll happen 5 minutes after I'm not live. Okay, so 80% of like the Cy Young winner. Yeah, I would take it. 80% of the Cy Young winner is what? Like, let's evaluate this from a WAR standpoint. And we're going to use Fangraphs WAR, even though it's not as favorable for the year he had because his FIP was good, not dominant. It was like really good, but it wasn't like dominant. 5.3, 80% of 5.3, right? 4.2. Yeah, and a heartbeat. I would take what is essentially like a 3.4, 3.5 FIP pitcher. Yes, John, yes, for sure. Is it a hot take to say that Cole's been a good bit of an overpay since the Spider Attack ban? No, I think it's an unfair thing to say. He's awesome in the postseason. 2022, 2023, very good years. 24, very good year when he was healthy. No. It's been an overpay because he missed a year. Not because it's been overpay, quote unquote, because he missed a year, but you got the insurance money. No, I'm good off that. That's me personal opinion. Yep, he can't be traded. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. The plan Bs have really never worked out. It's always been turbo dog for the Yankees. So yeah, it's like Bellinger, and that's really it. You got to make sure I think plan Bs, they don't take that out of context. You can take that you can take that out of context. Don't take it out of context. Plan Bs don't really work reliably. You should not be relying on plan Bs as your way to go out and win a World Series. What would you trade Dominguez? Would you trade Dominguez for a Sammy Stafora and Braxton Ashcraft? So Ashcraft, I believe, is reliever. Is this, you're talking about which one? Reds or Pirates? I know one got traded. Oh man. Oh, okay. This is Pirates Ashcraft. This is Braxton Ashcraft Pirates. No. Yes. Ashcraft Pirates. Yes, Pirates. I would do this. Ashcraft is good. Stafora is a good enough prospect for me to be in on this. I would do this. And the reason I would do this is because Stafora is not a great prospect, but he's good enough to at least be a top 15 guy in your organization. And I think Ashcraft could be a starter for you next year. If you really want to push that button. The stuff is disgusting. So, yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it. No, disagree. No, always just, guys, protection, please. Pulling out scientifically does not work. We've got to, yeah. Don't do that, guys. Don't do this. Take everything out of context. Yes, that's fair. Sabrits or Nathan's? Nathan's. Definitely Nathan's. Nathan's is awesome. Way better. Clearly way better. No disrespect. I actually don't remember this. I don't think it's me personally, I don't remember this, but I think honestly, Braxton Garrett's fun. I wanted him at one point. He was dope. I wanted him at one point. He didn't throw hard, but not at this point. I don't want him because he doesn't throw hard. He's coming off TJS. But man, was he fun at one point? Good starting pitcher through 90. That guy was fun. He was like Jordan Montgomery. Before he was Jordan Montgomery. He was Jordan Montgomery for the Mariners. Okay. My uncle roots for Lycée, so I would say I'd prefer them. Yeah. That's my pick here, Felix. You see, this is funny. I kind of like this. This is a funny trade, but I don't know. I'm not you need a starter. I don't know. I don't this is a good value trade, but kind of a boring dog shit one, not boring dog shit. I would kind of be oh, really? This is our off season? Damn, dude. You know what I mean? That would be, yeah, that wouldn't be I wouldn't be tickled by it. Pause. But I think it's fair value. When it's oh, it's a bad trade, I'd just be damn, really? Keller, really? Fuck. Now, unless you get Keller and then you add a third baseman, that is then bang. That is bang. Yeah, that's a good point. If you got Brendan Donovan after this, yeah, then you're in a good spot. I think you're in a good spot. Dude, I'm going to let you know something right now. If I'm rooting for the Chargers to win the Super Bowl or the Seahawks, those are my little brother's teams. So I like the Bills. I think they're cool. I like Josh Allen. He's cool. But yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There are just so many weird angles here. Los Hawks. Sam Darnold. See, I fuck with the Packers right now. Jordan Love, I'm not a huge Jordan Love guy. I don't think he's special or anything of the sort, but he's sick. I fucks with him. But yeah, I fuck with the defense. That defense is disgustingly good. And I want a team to beat the Eagles. I'm rooting for anybody to beat the Eagles. Who's your favorite Giants head coach candidate? I'm not sure, man. I got a lot. I can't lie. I gotta look at it. A little bit more. Yes, I would do this. Heartbeat. Yes, doing it. Heartbeat. No name guy. Heartbeat. I can't sing, guys. Dude, my fantasy team stinks. We have an ESM fantasy league. I'm getting touched in my ESM fantasy league. I'm getting crushed. Wow, that sounded really bad. I'm getting messed up in my fantasy league. It's not good. Not good. My fantasy team stinks again. Eagles are like the 2022 Yankees. I hope so. I really hope so. Don't be worried. I agree, Tony. Don't be worried. We're still good. Does anyone get that reference? We're still good. I do miss this a little. I got to be honest with you, William. I miss the Baker Mayfield. I miss being a Browns fan with Baker Mayfield, dude. That was tough. That was a tough moment in my life. Being a Baker Mayfield guy, like getting that 2020 year when the Browns were when the Browns beat down on the Steelers in that wild card game, man, that was super tough. That was one of the best moments of my life as a sports fan. I cried that day. I'm afraid. I'm man enough to admit I cried that day. Although I was like 16. It's been like 5 years, dude. It's been so long. Hey, teach their own. Teach their own. Ooh, good question. If it's like Gore, Hess, Cunningham, and LaGrange, no, I'm not doing that. Dude, I know the Phillies really wanted him. They really wanted him, and then they ended up getting Duran. Oh, yeah, dude, that's a shame. Being a Dolphins fan is like turbo dog in this world. Bro, if you don't cry after a win like this, you're a bum. If you don't cry, not you're a bum, but if you're not emotional if you're a Browns fan, you didn't feel emotional to that, man. That day got me, man. That got me in a place I can't even explain. I agree. I would want like LaGrange for a proven guy, not for like he could be good. Like Gore's like okay, he's good, but like I like him. I like Gore. Don't get me wrong. I like Gore. I want to clarify this. But like Gore is someone to me who's like, I'm throwing a crazy comp here. Crazy comp. Guys got to stay with me here. I kind of look at him. As like in between Jamison Tyone and Garrett Cole and like Musgrove. Remember, so the Pirates traded 3 starting pitchers. Cole after 17, Tyone and Musgrove after 20. Tyone received 0 top 100 prospects back, although Contreras got there, but it was pandemic weird. Musgrove had really good stuff. Like, hey, he could be good, but he isn't currently good. 2 years ago, like that's what Musgrove was. And I've got to find the Musgrove trade package. Who'd they get? They got 5 prospects. Wait, hold on. They didn't get 5 prospects. Yeah, they got 5 prospects, I think. Okay. They got a number 7 and a number 17 prospect. They also got the Mets number 14 prospect. So they got 3 top 30s. Somewhere in between like that and Cole, who got a top 100 guy. So like I look at Hess or like even ERC is kind of like Erod, is kind of like what I'm looking at. I'm making a lot of facial expressions, just trying to think right now. Jones, if they like Jones, is a big part of this because if they like Jones, it's a win for the Yankees. I would trade Jason in this. If they like Jason, I would trade him in this willingly, without a shadow of a doubt. The issue is Nationals have a good amount of outfielders. That's kind of the thing. They have Dalen Lyle, who can hit a little bit and has some juice in the bat. Obviously, James Wood is a stud. Dylan Cruz, one of their top prospects. Robert Hassel Jr. is turbo dog shit. He does suck. I think personally, I think he's bad. But it's, Harry Ford could transition to the outfield. I don't know if he's going to stick his catcher. That's just me, guys. It's just me. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. So, we'll kind of see there. Could Dylan Cruz play some center? Is kind of my question. I don't know if he can, but yeah. He's the most MLB ready, and LaGrange is the most upside. I do think Jones makes sense. Like, I understand that. But Gore, okay, now look at the roster. Like, they don't have a center fielder. Maybe that could be Jones. Guys, I need you guys to look at something. Share my screen real quick about Gore. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? God, I love the winter meetings. God, I love off-season. Let me talk you into Gore. Let's talk you into Gore real quick. Gore, good fastball, good stuff. Has the secondaries that I think have more upside. Coming from a bad organization. Bad organization. Yeah, dude. I can type pretty fast. Good organization. A bad organization going to a big organization. Immediate for me. Boom. Immediate. That is already where you get upside. So when we look at that, we look at kind of the roster construction. We look at what the Yankees and kind of what they've been able to build here. I think the Yankees are going to be able to take this guy who doesn't have good secondaries or currently doesn't have reliable secondaries, cut that fastball usage down to around 40, 42, 43, 44%. Not too crazy high. Get those secondaries involved more. Get more swing and miss. Doesn't cost a lot financially. Will cost a good bit prospect-wise. Has an above-average ERA each of the last 2 years. Excellent strikeouts to walk rates. This guy would be tough. Mock trade for Gore. I'll do that in a bit. I realized I went way past my streaming limit. I was supposed to go for 2 hours, but yo, guys, I'm sorry. I love talking to you guys. I am going to wrap up things here. So I want you guys to just kind of send in your last questions. Whatever you guys got for me, just wrap. We're going to wrap here because, again, like I kind of want to wrap here. I kind of need to get to writing an article about Gore. So, yeah. Might be worried. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. So I wouldn't really know. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's kind of sit here. So I'm gonna break this down in an article. Well, it'll be up on empiresportsmedia.com in the next 30 minutes. So please stay locked in on the Twitter. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Again, if you're watching this right now, subscribe, like, please, por favor. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Couple things I want to answer. That is hilarious. I hope he blows every single game. They're not favorites. I think they're just in. That's what I read on from Yankee source, who's really good at this MPB stuff. But I don't know if that's going to be a guy that they're going to end up landing. And then I want to talk about Philip Rivers working out the Colts. Is he a literal grandpa? He is a literal grandpa. He's literally a grandpa. So, oh my God. I would love this. A mí me gusta. Esto. I can't speak Spanish that well, guys. I hope you guys know that. All right. Voice is shot. Hit that like button for sure. I would like Rob Snyder more than Rosario, but as like a player, but give me Theo. I like Theo. Good stream. Thanks, Ryan. Hey, appreciate you all tuning in. Again, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. We will see you guys in the next live stream tomorrow. We'll have a video out tomorrow. We might have 2 videos out tomorrow, all here on Fireside Yankees. Love you all. Deuces.
Perfect.